And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
Oh, I lost the music. Where's the music? There's the music. Hit it, band.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to
We're talking Giants every
Let me
time.
turn this off. I had it on repeat. We don't want it on repeat. We already heard it once. Once is enough. Anyways, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live with myself and Lou. Glenn is still on assignment, and Lou, we get to come on here and talk about a Giants win, a big win, 10 runs on 15 hits. Lou, how about this one? Woo! Woo! Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I was going to say the best part that kept adding on, and it was a full team win. I know we'll go over the box score, but it was nice to see everyone contributing. And, who knows, maybe yesterday with the big win during the day, and then they travel here, maybe it could be the start of something nice. And it's nice when we get 15 hits, we actually get 10 runs instead of getting 15 hits and 3 runs. So It was good. And, a couple of guys that we've been waiting for them to come out of the chat did it, I mean, Ramos, after not playing 2 games, came through with a big bomb. And that was a no doubter to center. And then, total team win, which was nice. And again, I know we'll talk about it, but Susac, boy, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you're going to have to keep playing him. And we talked about this the other night until he cools down. But the guy, even when he was up with the bases loaded, it was still a quality at bat. And I think that's the key. So, if we would have just worked on some of our defense, and we'll talk about that more, it was just a solid win. A great Friday night. Disco Friday night, there's nothing better than Giants win.
There we go. Absolutely. On a Friday night, getting ready. The weekend is upon us, and we had a nice win. I'll tell you, and I think you talked about it there, Lou. They left Cincinnati yesterday. They had a little bit of fire in them. Right? I mean, it was crazy. You got Eric Miller out there dropping F-bomb or F-U to everybody in the Cincinnati Reds dugout. But they showed some fire. Maybe they turned a corner, so to speak, and they're like, all right, come on. We know we're better than this, and we're going to go out there and we're going to show it. And it showed today. The lineup, holy moly, man. Up and down the lineup was just incredible. Hard hit balls all over the place. The pitching, we're going to talk about that. Logan Webb is a bit concerning to me, so we'll see what goes forward with him. But
and
I tell
Eric,
you what,
everybody got a base hit in the lineup, and that's what a total team effort is, and that's great to see.
And a lot of them got extra base hits, man. Home runs, doubles. I mean, it was just incredible. And there was, you talked about it, there was some great defense and there was some bad defense. And it's like, you had a little bit of everything in this game. But what the biggest thing, too, is I'm glad the lineup picked up Logan Webb. They set the tone early, right? You got in that second inning. Ramos had that big 3-run shot to center field, and it gave Logan Webb some cushion. Now, granted, they needed it for the simple fact that Logan Webb wasn't on his game. He wound up allowing 4 runs. I'll get into the numbers here in a little bit. But my goodness, man, it was nice to see the lineup go, hey, if you're having a bad game, we'll come over here and we'll pick you up and we'll do what needs to be done. And they did. They went out there and they got it done. And you talked about it, right? The entire lineup was doing stuff today. So without further ado, let's look at the tail of the tape, Lou.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giants Sports Talk Live.
Got him.
All right, there you go. There's the final. Giants 10, Washington 5. Giants now are 8-12. Washington's 9-11. San Francisco, 10 runs on 15 hits. That second inning was just insane. They had that one error. Washington, 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The winner is Webb. Loser is Zach Littell, forever Giant. Logan Webb's ERA is still up there, still up in almost 5.5. Let's look at the lineup here. Adames, 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Arraez, 2 for 5 with 1 run scored. Chapman with a huge game, right? Huge game for Matt Chapman. 3 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 run scored. 3 for 5. He's batting now. He's batting .291. Devers, 1 for 5. He had a double, but he had 3 strikeouts. I'm telling you, Lou, we'll talk about this later, but that has to stop. It has to. You cannot go out there and keep striking out freaking multiple times a game. You just can't. Schmitt, 2 for 5, 2 runs scored. Also had a big fly late in the game. Jung-Hoo Lee with another hit, a nice solid hit to right field. Also with a run scored. Also got on base with a walk. Ramos, we talked about that. Look at that. He had 4 RBIs today. 4 RBIs. One of them with 1 swing and a bat, and then at the end of the game, he drew a walk and got another RBI. How about that? Andrew Susac, this is the guy you were talking about, Lou. He went 2 for 5. Look at that, batting .524. Granted, small sample size, but the guy hit. He's been hitting. He's been hitting since every time he comes or he starts a game, he gets a hit. And that tells you something. Maybe you need to start doing that. Gilbert got his first hit of the year, and it wound up being a nice home run to right field. So look at that. 15 hits, 10 runs. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Again, that could be better. We've talked about this in the past, Lou, where when they lose by only scoring 2 runs and it's a 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, that's a problem. But being that you had so many extra base hits, it really didn't come into play for the Giants on this one. Logan Webb, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Again, 7 hits, man, 4 earned. That's something that you just don't see from Logan Webb. Again, he's still out of sorts. What it is, I have no idea. Gage came in, gave up a hit, wound up being a big fly, but that was it. Killian and Tidwell each came in afterwards and put up zeros. All right, and there you go. And that's what you want the bullpen to do, to come out and close it out, especially when you had such a big lead. You don't want to give the Nationals any shot in trying to get back into the game. But, man, I tell you, those are some nice numbers to look at, Lou.
I agree. And, I just want to talk. I thought Ramos's best at bat wasn't his homer. Was when his bat that he walked with the bases loaded. That's when you're going good. He saw the ball well. Usually he's one of these guys that hits too early, worked the count, got the walk, and it was a big insurance run. And it was one of those things where you could feel the vibe moving. But I want to praise Ramos on that. And I thought Susac again did well. The only thing is, our defense. Adames twice. I thought on the double play, he threw it way high.
Yeah.
Devers tried to come up and,
he should have caught it. I mean, he did.
But still.
It was a bad throw. It was, yeah.
It was a bad throw. And then the next time he got a shot, he did an error. So we got to work on those little things. I mean, we're up 5. We won by 5 runs, but in a close game, that cannot happen. You have all day to throw. The guy with his arm up is 7 feet. Just throw it down a little bit lower.
Yeah, you're right. And that's a great point because, I mean,
Yeah.
Devers is a tall guy and he's stretching up as high as he can. That ball does need to be down. But look, Devers would say I should have caught that, right?
I agree.
I mean, right? But to that point, there's two things that are true at the same time. It was a bad throw, but it should have been caught.
Yeah, I'll give that. I mean, again, hey, we won. That's all that's, most important.
Right.
And, it's first part of a series. And, for everyone that always says, Webb always got caned. They just gave him 10 runs and 15 hits. So can we put that behind us, please? Okay. Because obviously Webb didn't have it that well. The Giants bats contributed, got the win. And again, everyone contributed. That's what we want. And I really think, we talk about 7, 8, and 9, right? But really with back there, you don't feel a void. Every time he comes up, I enjoy his approach. He sprays the ball. And one of the things about this game, there were 4 2-out hits.
Yeah.
4 2-out hits, which is great. And I think there were 3, again, it was either 3 or 4 where the balls went the opposite way. Okay, so we're not trying to pull everything. We're spraying the ball. When the Giants do that, that's when they're most effective. They're using the whole field, and I think that's what's, most important. And, I got to give it to Casey where, that was a tough pitch inside and he kept it fair for a nice homer late. But again, add-ons. That's what the Giants have to do. And it's a lot easier when you're up 6-0. I actually had to write you, Eric, said, hey, am I in the middle of a dream? The Giants scored 6 in 1 inning.
I know.
So, we don't see it much, so we got to praise it. And, most importantly, we got the W. So now 2 in a row.
That's the most important thing. You got to get wins because I'm telling you what, there's a schedule that's looming large. And I think Dave Fleming, he alluded to it on the broadcast. The Giants are going to go up against 5 pitchers that is not going to be easy. And it's going to be back to back to back to back to back. It's not, and look, you're going to have to make your hay here in Washington because it is going to be a rough go of it when they get back home. But you know what else? And I'll tell you what, I'm going to focus right now first on Matt Chapman. I mean, this guy, he's showing something and I love it because this is what you want to see from a guy like Matt Chapman. And maybe he's he's going to right field. He's not out there trying to kill the ball. He's going where the ball is pitched, and you're seeing more success from Matt Chapman. And another thing that I liked about him too, remember the pitch or the ball he threw to Devers? It was way wide. And that was a bad throw. And look, I'm not going to, that one wasn't on Devers. That was a bad throw. But what happened? Literally, was it the next pitch? A scorcher hits the Chapman. He catches it, immediately throws a strike to first base, and he doubles off the guy that got on because of that error. And that's huge, man, right? I mean, when you could do that, it keeps that momentum in the Giants' favor.
Yep.
And that was awesome. I loved seeing that. And he's playing some really good baseball. We cannot not talk. And the thing is no one's talking about him. Nobody's talking about him.
No.
And it's weird. It's like we all want to talk about when people do bad, but when people are doing good, it's like unless it's someone that they like, and then they'll talk about them. But it's strange.
No, I think you're correct, and I think a big key is he's hitting the right field, right center, right field.
Right.
So he's not trying to kill the ball. He's not trying to pull it. And the other thing too is, if you notice, when he does that, he doesn't strike out as much. He's making contact. Which, really is what we ask him to do. So,
correct.
But it was a nice win. I sort of like it when we're on the road. It's a nice early start. Before you know it, you're done with work on Friday. You're getting in the groove and the ball game's on. So I do like it when they play on the East Coast a little bit.
It is. It's a little bit more favorable as far as the time is concerned.
Correct.
How about Luis Arraez? I mean, he's playing great defense still.
Again.
Great defense. And how about taking that extra base? When Chapman hit that single, he kept running.
Yeah.
And
he's done that a couple times.
And
he's done that a couple times.
And taking that extra base, you know what wound up happening? He was able to score on that walk that Ramos took. It led to a run. Smart base running, taking the extra base, can sometimes allow or contribute to a run scored.
Correct.
And those are the things that you want to do, man. If you want to go out there and win baseball games, you're gonna have to go out there and get those things done. It's right. You have to.
Taking advantage of the situation.
And,
we all said he's too slow. His defense is bad. We're not sure why we're paying 11. Everything they said early, and I'm not saying the whole chat, but when we assigned him, I knew he was a professional hitter. Again, he played first base last year the majority of the time. He's been the best Giant. He's been the best Giant. I think his winning attitude has really helped the rest of the team. Hitting wise, just making contact. I mean, it was a huge signing. So I'm going to give it to Buster.
Because I remember, because I was a little concerned with his speed too, but the guy's a smart base runner. He's doing something right, because right now he's a fantastic baseball player. I'm sorry.
He's a force. He's a force, defensively, offensively, and on the bases.
I've seen a couple of people say, where would the Giants be if you didn't have Arraez in that lineup? Right? I don't know. It could be much worse. It could be, there you go. There you go. Arraez isn't making hard enough contact. A soft 300. I don't understand that either, Aaron. I really don't. I don't understand that. 300 is 300. You're on base, right? You're on base. That's what matters. And as long as you're playing some good defense, you're not a detriment to the team. Man, I tell you, I just love watching that guy take his at-bats.
I agree.
I do. It's freaking awesome. And you got some of these other guys who are contributing. Adames at the top of the lineup. His last 2 games in Cincinnati weren't all that great, but today he starts afresh here and he gets 2 hits in Washington. I mean, come on, man. And look here, let me take a look at this again. The top of the lineup, 1, 2, 3, had a combined, 9 hits. 9 hits for 1, 2, and 3. 7, 8, 9 contributed for 4 hits, 2 of them being Susac. So, I mean, and then you had the middle, right? Devers had a hit. Schmitt had 2. Lee had 1. So, I mean, everybody was doing their part today. And you can't ask for anything better. You really can't.
Eric, I think one thing different from this year compared to last year is I don't remember Ramos sitting down 2 games.
No.
Right. And I think it was more, hey, listen, you have a problem. Let's work on it. It's early. I need you to be 100%. Then he comes back, he hits the homer, and he gets that big walk. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's something different with our management, maybe with Tony V. The same thing with Bailey. He's not doing well. So they're playing the best possible combination, 9 people for the next game. And I think that's important. And I think what it also does, it tells you, doesn't matter who you are, you got to prove yourself. Prove yourself, you'll be rewarded. You get to play again. And I sort of like that. And I think it's a big thing with the 2 I mentioned.
Yes, agreed. Ibrahim, kind of going back a little bit, and then I'm going to go back to what you just said, Lou. We're in an era of hard hit outs with lots of Ks are more preferred than soft singles. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Honestly, baseball is baseball, right? Get your hits, score some runs, play some defense, pitch the damn ball, catch the ball, and let's go. Yeah, Eddie, I guess I'm Alex. Alex, I'm not Alex. But oh my God, I just freaking totally lost it. There was a point that you made, and I wanted to key in on it. Oh my gosh, totally lost.
Abraham was talking about the soft
hits, but you were talking,
and then I was talking about how a couple guys have been sit down for 2 games.
Yes,
and
here's the thing:
how you got to prove yourself.
And you know what? And this also is very similar for Patrick Bailey. Because now he's in that same situation because you got Andrew Susac. You got Daniel Susac, who's playing head and shoulders better than Bailey. So, and here's the thing: you're gonna have it's all good, Alex. Tony Vitello, right? This is where this is what it means to be a manager, right? You're going to have to be able to navigate these waters, so to speak, on if a guy is not playing up to standards, but you got another guy that can, the most important thing is you got to have that communication. If you don't have that communication with your 26 men, you're going to have problems. As long as you're communicating, hey, Bailey, this is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. And Susac, this is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it may be, they just got to make sure they know where they stand in the scheme of things, because then that's when you start losing players. That's when you start losing a clubhouse, because if a player feels like he is not, quote unquote, being fairly treated, if you want to say, then other players may start choosing sides. Are they going to choose the manager? But if everybody's, on the same sheet of music, well, then you're going to be okay. So yeah, that's a great point there, because, they benched Ramos, and maybe there was a reason why. And look, there's different reasons why you could bench him. And let's talk about this, Lou, because remember last year, and it was Ramos. Remember, Bob Melvin didn't bench Ramos.
Who else am I going to play? I have nobody else on the team that can do it. Yeah.
Right.
And it was horrible.
Now you got Tony Vitello, and he's seeing what Ramos is doing. So you know what he did? Hey, you're going to have to ride the bench these next couple of games, right? And then you're going to figure it out one way or another. So that I like that, because now you're holding players responsible. Because if or I should say accountable, if they're not being accountable for what they're doing out there, well, then you're not going to get the best out of them. And if there's no repercussions of playing some bad baseball, then I could keep going out there and just be shitty, right?
Now, and you got to remember, they're not winning. Okay, so they got to figure out how to get the W's. Okay, they were 6-12. They can't keep using the starting lineup. It's not working. So what are we going to do? You got to look. The outfield was a problem. Let's sit down our left fielder. Just 2 games. Mm-hmm. Let's do something with our catcher. Just 2 games, but it's resulted in 2 wins. So with Devers, if he has another tough game, don't be surprised if maybe they sit him, just so mentally, because it looks like Devers is almost trying too hard. At every
talk about Devers.
Yeah, it's almost like, he can't take it out on the bat. He gets upset when he just misses a pitch. It happens. He's in a slump, but he's the guy that I know will come out of it. We've talked about this before. If you saw last night's game, they said he batted 166 for April. He batted 342 for May. He's done that the last 2 years. And as Eric always says, the baseball card, he will come out of it. He's just a slow starter, but we need him to pick it up a little bit, especially when you're 4 games. So I think that's something.
100%, Lou, and right, and I think he is going to come around. But that being said, the strikeouts, that's the part that concerns me. And FP actually made a really good point the other day on the radio. I think it was the pregame when they talk with the people in the booth. He's got so many things at work when he swings. And if anything is out of kilter, your timing is going to be all kind of jacked up. He's got that, that very extreme where he kicks his front leg out so much, and then he holds the bat up high. So he's got to get that timing down. But that being said, those strikeouts, man, especially going down right down that last strikeout on strike 3, right down Broadway, and you can't be doing that. Now, that being said, I think that this is how he's going to play the rest of the year? No, I think right now, like you said, he's slumping, but boy, look, he can't be above criticism, because today he's able to get away with it for the simple fact everybody else contributed, which is good, because you want your teammates to pick you up if you're not, on your game. That's what it's about, being a team. It's not about me and I and my individual numbers. It's going to be about how can I help the team get that win. And that's great to see. So while Devers is down, you got some other guys who are contributing. Ultimately, in a perfect world, you want everybody to contribute at the same time. But Jay makes a good point, right? First and third with only going that one. Yeah, that one is kind of rough. Ramos drawing that walk was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. And like he said, Devers has got to make contact. He's got to make contact. There's no doubt about it. And here's another thing. Joe, you make a great point. Devers is also learning to play first base. That's a fact. Remember last year, that was his first year playing first base. right? And then this spring, how much time did he get at first base? He didn't get a whole lot of time at first base. So his repetition at first base isn't there like it would be is if he had a full spring, because again, he was out for 3 weeks with that hammy. So if you want to say he's still kind of in spring training mode as far as the defense at first base. Remember when he first started playing first base last year for San Francisco? He had some horrible, and everyone's saying, that guy can't play first base, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? He wind up having a pretty decent season at first base. He's adequate, right? He's adequate.
And people forget the first week of the season, Casey was at first.
Yep.
It wasn't Devers, so we got to remember that.
Right. And it's not like Schmitt was fantastic at first base either. He just wasn't. So let's see what we got in here. He's not where. There you go. Liam from across the pond over in the UK says he's not worried about his bat either. Just got to be better defensively. Agreed. 100%. 100%, Liam. I think he's going to come around, right? Come on. Right now it looks bad. It's he has to do more. I'm not going to sit here and say, he's the best. No, right now he absolutely stinks. And he's gonna eventually get out of it. We hope, right? And if he doesn't, well, then the Giants got some bigger problems ahead of them. And hey, let's not forget about this either. How many games did Devers play last year? It's incredible, actually.
At first, or
no, all together, the whole year. It's pretty incredible, actually. He played 163 games. 160. He played all of them plus one. So, because I see, and I get it.
They had a doubleheader the day he got traded.
Yeah, something like that, right?
They played an extra game.
It was 163.
Makes sense.
Now, because I see people, they talk about his weight and stuff like that. And I understand it. Could he be leaner? Sure. But it's not affecting him going out there freaking strapping it on every single day. I mean, come on, there's value to that. There's no doubt about it. Now we just need him to go out there and do something, right? Come on. That's what Giants fans really want, because there's all this advertisement about Devers and how great he is. Last year his time in San Francisco wasn't the greatest. I mean, he's had moments, don't get me wrong, but they want Boston Red Sox Devers, and I understand that. And let's see. Let's give it some more time. And like you said, in May, he tore it up. Remember, in Boston, he started out absolutely horrendous, and then he wound up tearing it up. So we'll see what happens. Again, the Giants won, right? That's the biggest thing. The Giants freaking won. And to your point, because you talked about it too, keeping the line moving, the Giants were able to do that. And then you add in a couple of big flies, and you're cooking with gas. Yeah, it is. Formula. You're cooking with gas. Hey, what is up? Our good friend from Don from Evansville, Indiana. What is up, dude? Look, he always does it. He always gives me the come on, man. He knows what's up. What's up, Don? Hope all is well in Indiana. Hey, I want to talk about this just real quick. Just to divert a little bit from hey, Giants fans, I'm going to tell you something right now because I see you in the chat, Mark. I see you, Mark. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. You think Giants fans are losing their minds? Can you see what is going on in New York? Oh my God. The Mets, guys, listen to this. If you don't know, the Mets have lost 9 games in a row.
10.
9.
They lost
10?
again tonight. Yeah.
No, I think today was 9. Today was 9. 9 times. 9 times. That's rough. And Armand, I don't even see Armand in the chat no more. I don't think he wants to hear it. I can't blame him.
Yeah, is he alive?
I can't blame him. I can't blame Ray Charles. This is, I mean, that you want to talk about, and let's not forget how much money the Mets have sunk into their roster. And you think the Giants have it bad? Come on. Oh, here we go, Rob. Fact or fiction, Carlos Mendoza gets fired in the season. Yeah, he might. I think he does. I think he does. There is no doubt about it. I think he does, man. Yeah, he goes, Liam, he's watching it. It's a comedy show. It's bad. Lindor, something's up with Lindor. I see Don talking about it. And look, that's a National League team. And that's a team that, the Giants may be in competition with, depending on what happens at the end of the year. They are just looking bad. Look, they look great against the Giants. The Giants took that first game and then they win the next 3.
Yeah.
But my goodness, man. Could you imagine coming on this show here if the Giants had just lost their 9th in a row?
No, in fact, it's all New York. I mean, the Yankees are getting,
Yeah, the Yankees aren't that good.
The A's went right through New York like it was nothing. It's amazing. And, it's baseball. I mean, the Mets, what's sort of funny is I thought it was their 10th, but it's their 9th. Okay, so when you look at it, they lost to the Cubs. They took 3 out of 4 from the Giants, and their record is 7-13. So, it's, again, that either shows you again, we talk about when you play teams, when and where, and the part of the year.
Yes.
But it's
it does.
One of those things. That's why guys are such a long thing. And the other thing is you have Bo Bichette, who just they're booing him. You got Lindor that people forget 2 years ago was the MVP. Maybe they lost their big player to Baltimore. It takes a while. That's just how it is. So
I see you,
Bob
Eddie.
Melvin, the new manager of the Mets. They're not that desperate, Alex.
Oh, you never know. Choice. Look at Mark. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's got a picture of Shea Stadium. He's got a picture of Shea Stadium as his avatar. He says he ain't making it out of Chicago. Woo! So people are talking about, are they going to make it is he going to make it through a season? He's saying he may not even make it through the series. Woo-wee. Wow. I mean, it's crazy. And this is something, and look, we talk just about our Giants. I get it, but just, you got to look at some of these other teams out there, man. It's not pretty for a lot of teams that you didn't think would be scuffling as much as they have been. I'm telling you, it's a strange sheet. It's a strange start to the season. It really is. It's just
a lot of heavy hitters. A lot of heavy hitters are just starting off slow. Some of the big free agents slow. I mean, I think of Detroit. One of the pitchers we want to. The guy is like 1-4. Garrett Anderson, big loss, 53 years old. Can you believe
53? That's my age. 53, yep. Man.
So
unbelievable, man. Yeah, I don't mean to divert, but yeah, I saw United States of Activism. Yeah, I mean that's an absolute shame. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Did you hear what he was? It a long illness or was it sudden?
I just heard about it yesterday that he passed away. So
here's a great point, Mark.
Yeah,
people have to understand it's not fantasy baseball. Some guys cannot play in New York. That's true. New York is one of the most unique places where you play baseball, and if you can't handle it, well, then you're not going to have success in New York. You're just not, man. You're not.
And them and Philly, they let you know.
Yep.
They let you know. They ride you bad. So,
Fun fact, Kai Correa, he's the bench coach. He may be the interim manager. Yeah. More on Garrett. Played for 17 years, won a World Series and a home run derby. 15 with he stayed with the Angels for quite a long time. Man. Shame, especially the age too. I mean, it's just 53 is just way too damn young. My gosh. Anthony says in defense of Mendoza, his pitchers are effing awful. There's nothing he can do about it, huh? Yeah. And there you go. I see Frustrated talking about, and this is something else I kind of want to talk about a little bit. Padres sold for $3.9 billion. That's a lot of damn money. And Jeff Passan had an interesting story out there. I think it was a tweet actually, where he It tells you the health of Major League Baseball. If a Major League Baseball team can sell for $3.9 billion and you're about to have this legal strife or this labor strife, it tells you how healthy the sport is. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. Could you imagine what the Giants must be worth? They're going to be worth more than that. There's no doubt about it that they'd be worth more than what the San Diego.
But you got to remember, the Giants had somebody bought some this year, and then they had two people buy a percentage last year.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they need.
And I think and what it may have happened, other people may have divested and they took their spot. Yeah, that may have been the case. So, oh man, I tell you, he brings up a good point. Talking about Gilbert, yeah, let's talk about Gilbert real quick, guys. We're not going to go that long today because I know there's a basketball game out there that's got to be played, and I know people may want to be watching that, but it was great to see Gilbert, man. His first hit was a big fly, and he plays a great center field. And you know what? I would not be surprised if we see a platoon action going on in center field between Bader and Gilbert. Look, if Bader ain't going to be stepping up, then you may see a lot more Gilbert out there. It may very well happen. Now, the only difference is, Lou, and you know how this is, when someone has that contract, it makes it that much difficult for that young guy to break through because there's money invested.
Agree.
So
Agree.
I don't know how that's going to work out because they signed Bader for 2 years.
Yep. And, that's why they keep talking about Eldridge. Bring Eldridge up. Bring Eldridge. Where are you going to play him?
Yeah, right now there's no place to play him.
There's no place. So keep him where you can get at-bats.
Yes, keep getting the at-bats. Look, Buster Posey and Zach Manasian and Kyle Haynes and Tony Vitello, they understand the situation with Bryce Eldridge. And we've said this before, the last thing you don't want to do is bring up a guy to be quote unquote a savior on a team that's been scuffling. You just don't want to do that. You just don't. Eldridge in left field says, hey, you never know. You never know. You know how they say is if your bat plays, they'll find a position for you. Hey.
Of course.
Now left field, I don't know because it depends on what Ramos does. That's the thing. There's so many different variables. And it's not that easy. It's not like they got guys out there that they just can just say, see ya. Because to an extent, you got to keep throwing guys out there. Fuji donates $2. What's up, Fuji? It says Giants are currently projected at $4.6 billion. All right. There you go. There you go. Are we going to see the Giants sold anytime soon? Probably not. Why would they? They know what the heck they got. They know the real estate stuff that they got going on. Come on, man. Come on. Let's see what else we got. If Eldridge comes up, Schmitt may be a trading option. You talking about for the DH spot there, Alex? I'm thinking, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, maybe it's costs because we haven't seen a whole lot of costs. They may option them. I don't know. Does a cost have options? Guys, can you look it up for me? Because I don't want to spend time looking up if cost has options. I don't know if cost has options or not because he may be the odd man out just for the simple fact that Schmidt's playing really good baseball right now. And I don't know if that's something that the Giants would want to do. That seems like it could have a negative effect on what's going on with the Giants if they did that. Cost does have, so that may happen. They may wind up optioning costs. And we'll go from there. Whoa, look at that. Caesar donates $5. You didn't have to do that. Caesar says Susac starts tomorrow. You got a coin? Hey, right? It's 50-50, dude. It's 50-50. 50-50. I wouldn't. Hey, you donated $5 and I appreciate it, but I would not bet $5 on who's going to start tomorrow because you just don't know. What time's the game tomorrow, Lou? I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule.
I was going to see who our pitcher is. Let's see.
Thanks, Caesar.
105.
It's a 105. So it's going to be Bailey. It's going to be Bailey. A day after night game, it's going to be Bailey. There's no doubt about it.
Against a righty. We go against a righty. Chad Savelli.
Yep.
So
Robert, he's asking us a question. Yeah, and Adrian Hauser's going tomorrow, man. I don't know. I like Ray. Ray's batting the series finale, but I don't know about Hauser tomorrow. Robert saying, gentlemen, if you have one area to improve on the Giants, what would you focus on? Ooh. And I tell you, Robert, because it can each day is something different. It's because the hitting, but man.
I'll throw two out.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Fundamentals.
Okay.
I think fundamentals, like you saw today's game defensively, we didn't do the fundamentals. But I think fundamentals and taking more walks. Tonight you took a walk and it led to a run. We only got 3 walks on the game. Yesterday we got 2. The game before we got 1. Those all add up. It's added pitches to the starting pitcher. And what I mean by the fundamentals is if they would have made that double play, Webb wouldn't have had to pitch an extra 13 pitches in that inning, and
that's
he
a
would have
fact.
extended.
That's a
So,
fact.
just doing the fundamentals, I think something, the Giants can do. Again, that's offensive, defense, hitting behind the runners. The game is not hard. It's just sometimes we make it hard. So
Exactly.
It happens.
Right. And let's see. Man, starting pitching, right? We got right now, I'm kind of leaning that way because we got 2 pitchers who are carrying the weight, Ray and Roop. Webb, Hauser, and Malley. I really haven't been too
They're
impressed.
doing just enough.
Yeah.
Barely surviving.
I don't know, man. I'm concerned with the starting pitching just from what we've seen so far. Because I figured the hitting is going to come around eventually. It's not going to be this bad for this long. It just can't be. The pitching, though, man, I'm telling you, that's what's going to carry you is the pitching. Yes, you got to score runs. But throughout the season, it's got to be the pitching. It's clear. Let's see. They need to rebuild. Clear today. Team wasn't going anywhere. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that. How can you say that? You can't. It's April 17th. That's dumb. You don't know where the team is going. Nobody knows where the team is going. We could all sit there and make predictions of what we think to do, but it's not set in stone. It's got to play out. You have absolutely no idea what the hell this team is going to do at all. End of story. Period. Full stop. And you talk about the rebuild. Well, look, you got Buster Posey running the show. I think we know where Buster Posey is going with this. Right? He went out there, he signed some veterans, he made some trades, but he's also doing it through the draft. And here's the thing. The Giants don't have the young talent to be able to play the youth right now. They don't. They need to develop. End of story. And it's going to take years to be able to do that. Buster Posey only has 1 draft under his belt. He has 2 international drafts, and those 2 international drafts have been pretty good in Luis Hernandez and Josué Gonzalez. But as far as the amateur draft is concerned, the Giants got a lot of work to do, and it's going to take a few years. It just is. And you just don't sit there and say, you draft this guy and next year they're up. It doesn't happen. It takes time. And in that time frame, you could go out there and sign guys, talking about veterans. You could go out there and make trades so your team is relevant. And look, we all said that we thought that the lineup was going to hit better, and they haven't. And it's the beginning of the season. I don't think it's going to be that way for the rest of the season. I don't. Now, does it mean they're going to go out there and win a pennant? No, I'm not saying they're going to go out there and win a pennant. Look, Buster Posey, how does he suck at his job? Let's hear it, because that's stupid. It's stupid. He's trying to put together with what he has. Do you not understand that he has to also appease the ownership group? And if you don't appease the ownership group, you ain't getting shit done. He probably had to do this on a budget. How can you blame him? Right? He's a giant. He wants the Giants to succeed. Now, can we all sit there and say, could he have gone someone different? Yeah, absolutely. He could have. But hindsight's 20/20. Right? Come on, man. You don't know what you're talking about with this stuff, because all you're worried about is how sucky the team is. Come on. Come on. Let's see what happens. Let it play out. Again, this is baseball. It's baseball. How many times have I said that? You guys who are tuned into me, I say it over and over and over. It's baseball, and that encompasses a lot of different things. For those of you who watch baseball, totally understand what I'm talking about here. You're gonna have to go out there and have a lot of things fall in place for things to turn out right. Right? My gosh. Caesar says, answer the question. Yeah, it's going to be Bailey. Day after night game, it's going to be Bailey. Period. Yeah, I get it. It's okay to be sick of it, but there's got to be a way forward. That's the thing. We don't know where the Giants are going to be this year. You can't say they're even 500. Has game 162 concluded? It hasn't. You have to understand that. Don't get caught up in the moment. And that's the problem. And I try to say that over and over and over, man, is April 17th is not, what is it, October 1st, October 2nd. There is a lot of baseball to be played, and we don't know where this is going to lead. But look, it could be under 500, it could be at 500, or it could be over. Let's let it play out and see what happens.
Eric, I think people got to remember in the movie, I know it was only a movie, but Moneyball, they started 11-30. They got rid of 2 of their best players, and all of a sudden they went on a roll before they won 20. I'm not saying that that's what the Giants are, but baseball has a third. Usually your first third, you know what you have, you know what to improve on. Then you see what you have the second 1/3 of the season. Then if you're not going anywhere, that's why they have the trade deadline. Let's think about the future. But right now, guys, we still haven't even played a month.
Exactly.
And you guys are all upset up 2 wins. It could be worse.
I know,
we
it
won
could
2
be.
games. So,
and
again.
I'm not saying it's dumb. It's not dumb. I didn't say it's dumb to rebuild. I said it takes time.
Yeah. And you got to have,
what?
You can't rebuild when you don't have the talent to rebuild.
I don't know I don't know how much of a baseball fan you are, but maybe you're a football fan. You draft someone out of college or even in basketball. You draft someone out of basketball. Guess what? They're in the big club the next year. That's not how it is with baseball. There's a timeline with baseball. Some timelines are short and some timelines are big as far as prospects being able to have success, or they may not even have success in the major leagues. End of story. Oh, you're saying, oh, my bad. Okay. You're talking but you see where I'm going. I'm telling you, man, is the draft the way to go? 100% it is. 100% the draft is the way to go. Unfortunately, the Giants are a little bit behind compared to some of these other clubs, and it's going to take time. Marcus. Yeah. Giants have too much money on the line to pull off a real build. Yeah. That's true because they sunk a lot of money because with the contracts, I hear what you're saying, Marcus. I'm trying to think did we miss anything, Lou? I'm trying to think. Let me look at the box score again. Is there anyone else we want to talk about?
No, but Caesar Cruz brings up something. Caesar, Giants have a lot of Saturday night games. He's actually in the
one where he says answer the question.
728. Eric and Lou, are we going to go to Tommy's before a game?
Oh no, he is going. Okay, he's going to Tommy's. I think Eric and Lou, we are going to Tommy's before the game. Which game?
Yeah, which game? Are you talking about? One of the things I like to do is when the Giants are either on the road on the weekend and I'm healthy, or if they have like a Saturday night. I don't know if you saw this year, the Saturday night games start at 6:30.
No kidding.
There's 2-day games. The one we were talking about with Colorado, but 6:30 at night. So those are the type of games I like to go to Tommy's, have a Tommy margarita. And by the way, just speaking of Tommy, I know we're going to come up with the ad, but we had a gentleman, just so people that went to the meet and greet saw Scott from Hawaii. Scott, if you're listening, I just found out you actually went to Tommy's. He went, saw Enrique like we told you guys. Hey, go up to Enrique. He got a picture of Tommy's margarita. He sat down with his family, and Julio said, thank you for coming from Hawaii and gave us a shirt from our meet and greet that we've worn before. So Tommy, Julio at Tommy's, shout out. Thank you for helping out the chat. When they go to Tommy's, you never know what you're going to get beside a Tommy margarita.
Absolutely, guys. And without further ado, let's hear from our good sponsors. All right, there we go. Proud sponsor for Giant Sports Talk Live, Tommy's Mexican Restaurant. Again, home of the world famous Tommy and Margarita. And also, don't forget about the food. Food is freaking awesome. Awesome. All right, what else? I saw Tribe says, I guess the Warriors are getting boat raced, huh? I don't know. Are
25 to 13, they're losing.
Who are they
One
playing?
on the road, 2 games. They're playing Phoenix. They lose, they're done for the season, and they go in the lottery.
Oh, gotcha.
So
it's
it
looking
looks
pretty
like
bad.
no Bay Area sports teams because the Sharks finished a game out, so they're not in it. They're going to be in the lottery. So
Man,
Giants are the only game in town.
There we go. Yep. At least for a little while, you know what I'm saying? Until, because I know, what is it? The NFL draft comes out, next week, I think?
Next
NFL
week,
draft?
Valkyrie's,
Yep.
I think, in 3 weeks. So, it's going to be an exciting time with the Giants.
It is.
We play tomorrow, and then we play Sunday, and then we get Monday off, and then the big blue boys come into town. And let me tell you, that Dodger Stadium is probably going to be close 60-40 Dodger fans over Giant fans.
Now, I know they're talking rain, so maybe they'll keep some of them away.
Yeah.
Who knows? Guys, just so you know, because I see we'll get into Webb here in a second before we get out of here. Just so you guys know what the Giants got coming for them when they come home. Now, look, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because we still got 2 more games against Washington. But starting on Tuesday, Yamamoto. Then you got Shohei Ohtani. Then you got Tyler Glasnow. Then the Marlins come in, and they're going to start Sandy Alcantara. And then after Sandy Alcantara is going to be Yuri Perez. They're going to have 5 stud pitchers back to back to back to back to back. It's not going to be easy. I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. I mean,
It'll be a test. Right? We'll see how good this offense, if they can do it against quality pitching. I mean, I don't think Zach Littell, a former reliever of ours and starter, is a quality pitcher. But we'll see. And one good thing is, hey, when you get a pitcher like that, you got to dominate him, and that's what they did tonight. So we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, it should be interesting. But real quick before you get out of here, Logan Webb, I don't know what's going on. Look, he's got the velocity, but his location is not there. Even if his location was just a little bit better, I think he'd get a lot of more swings and misses. But his misses are so bad that it's tough, man. And look in the
anybody. And ground ball double plays, it's a lot worse.
And he's giving up some fly balls too, right? He's giving up some solid contact. So I'm guessing it's something that could be easily fixable. I'm hoping, but let's see how this all pans out with Logan Webb. But from what I've seen so far, it's looking rough. We want to see Logan Webb be like Logan Webb, and I would not be surprised. He probably feels the same exact way, man. Come on, that guy's a freaking competitor. He wants to go out there and give it and look, he got 6 strikeouts. He struck out the side in, what was it, the 4th inning, I think it was. And then the 5th, I think he had a 5-pitch inning. And then the 6th, he wound up giving up another run, but we'll see. We'll have to see how it all pans out. I wouldn't say I'm worried, concerned. Sure. I am concerned, but as far as like the worry meter, I'm not worried. Not yet. If it goes on for another 10 game or another 5 starts, Houston, we got a problem. Hey, Brian. Matter of fact, this is our friend from Costa Rica. Let's extend Arraez now. Oh man, 100%. 100%. Tired of people saying it's because of the WBC. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
It could be that he's had 3 straight years of 200 innings.
Yeah, he has.
You know,
he's got a lot of mileage on that arm. All right, What are we? Marcus, I'm gonna watch games because I enjoy watching baseball, even if my team sucks. Yeah, that's what it's like about being a fan, right?
I mean, Marcus is excited. He's going to see the Giants in the front row and Dominic Smith.
Him and his brother, and then Fuji Simeon and whoever his guest is will be at that same game. They're going to be over there at the Giants versus
Saturday
the Braves.
night
right?
game.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be fun. You guys, I mean, Marcus has already done it, but yeah, that's an absolute treat. All right, let's get out of here, Lou, and then we'll be back here tomorrow afternoon for a post game.
See if we can make it 3. See if we can get to 3-pack.
Adrian Hauser, right, guys? He's going to have to keep the ball in the yard, man. Get those ground balls and let the defense and I hope the offense stays hot. The lineup, right now they're doing something. I don't want them to give up. You know how it's been when they have these big wins, Glue. The next game, it's always it's a stinker.
Yeah.
So, I hope it's not going to be the same.
Let's see
something different.
Perfect.
All right, Lou. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow in chat. We will see you tomorrow afternoon after the second game of the 3-game series against the Nationals. All right, be good, guys. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.